All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating, highly ambitious proposal for a brand new global civic ecosystem. It's called Alnas. Imagine just completely reimagining how society governs itself, how it manages its economy, and even how we handle everyday civic duties. Well, today our focus is giving you a complete overview of a source document that outlines a blueprint to do exactly that.
Now, the entire proposal really centers around this one incredibly bold slogan: "We are the discussion of humanity." According to the document, this essentially sets up the platform's core philosophy, which is pure, absolute majority rule. The foundational idea is pretty staggering when you think about it. Literally no system or government sits above the will of the people. Everything from a tiny local project approval all the way up to global leadership is decided entirely by popular vote.
Okay, so let's actually dive into this by first taking a look at their visual branding. This is their official logo, a gold pen forming a checkmark, and it perfectly represents their overarching vision, which is a fully integrated system that writes new rules for society by blending a digital networking platform with physical, real-world municipal infrastructure. So it's not just a website, it's an entire parallel civic structure.
Because this platform proposal is incredibly sprawling, we're going to use a sort of macro to micro overview approach today. Here's our agenda. 1. Introducing the Alnas ecosystem. 2. Global governance and economics. 3. The digital platform interface. 4. Real-world district clubs. 5. Unique community services. And 6. The perfect 10 analysis.
Okay, Section 1, Global Governance and Economics, Structuring the World. Let's start by looking at how Alnas envisions organizing leadership and the flow of capital on a global scale.
What's really fascinating about this proposed structure is the strict top-down chain of command. The ecosystem is divided into 5 distinct groups, starting from individual members and going all the way up to a global group. Higher groups command lower ones, but keeping in line with that majority rule philosophy we just talked about, members of a lower group can actually vote to reject commands from above, or they can report conflicts upward to judges to solve disputes. It's a really unique balance of power.
On the economic side, Alnas operates on a cooperative model. When a project is proposed and approved, it can be franchised upward, and the profits are divided across this multi-layered structure. It breaks down like this: 20% goes to the project owner, 20% to the global group, 20% to the country group, and a big 40% chunk goes to the city group. Oh, and within those groups, the elected leaders take a 10% cut of their specific group's share.
Now, to actually power this global economy, the platform requires active participation. Every single member is mandated to work 3 hours daily, 5 days a week, on 10 specific categorized tasks. This includes things like voting on leadership, managing approved projects, and investing in prioritized initiatives. Plus, if you want to run for an elected leadership position, you have to pay a continuous candidacy fee of exactly $16 a month just to remain on the ballot.
Moving right along to Section 2, the digital platform interface, navigating the ecosystem. So, stepping away from the grand economic theory for a second, let's look at the actual digital engine users would interact with to get those daily tasks done.
The interface relies heavily on a Google Maps-based front page. So instead of just scrolling a text feed, users interact with a map filled with these floating, color-coded categories, and they cover a lot of ground, ranging widely from standard stuff like real estate and sales to ride requests and even relationship seeking. It's designed to be a true one-stop shop for literally every daily interaction a citizen might need.
This next feature really highlights the platform's focus on practical utility. It's called the floating emergency button. If a user is in trouble, pressing this button pinpoints their exact location on the public map, identifies the type of crisis, like a health emergency or a fire, and instantly shows local first responder contacts. And what's really interesting is that registered first responders on the platform can then just tap to indicate that they're actively en route to that mapped location. All right, Section 3, Real-World District Clubs, Physical Infrastructure. The crucial point to understand here is that Alnas isn't meant to just live on your phone. It aims to manifest in the physical world through localized headquarters called district clubs.
The source document reveals a very specific business model for these locations, with the primary global headquarters planned for Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Building just one single district club is estimated to cost 4 million Saudi riyals. And that's funded by selling 800 shares to community members at 5,000 riyals each. But here's the absolute standout number.
They project an estimated yearly profit of 3.4 million reals for just one of these localized clubs. And these physical clubs are designed to be highly comprehensive community hubs. They aren't just basic management offices. Outfitting each district, these clubs include segregated men's and women's sections, sports arenas like full football fields and gyms, swimming pools, places of worship, restaurants, and notably, dedicated parking spaces for those registered first responders we just discussed.
Next up, Section 4, Unique Community Services, Health, Justice, and Marriage. Let's zoom in even further to explore a few of the highly specific and, frankly, quite unique civic services that Alnas proposes for everyday individuals. Essentially, they propose replacing traditional civic services with community-driven, decentralized marketplaces. Take health and justice, for example. Imagine a crowdsourced medical wiki called the Health Guide, where verified medical professionals actually vote on the best step-by-step disease treatments. Meanwhile, the Justice Guardians feature acts as a marketplace where you can hire verified private guards equipped with tasers, as well as lawyers and private judges to resolve your personal disputes. They also detail a highly structured, debt-free marriage crowdfunding service. It works like this. A groom pays a 2,000 real listing fee and selects up to 4 prospective wives. Supporters then gift 500 reals to the profile. Once they hit 800 gifters, Alnas takes a 50,000 real fee, and the couple receives a whopping 350,000 reals to buy a house. Notably, the source text explicitly specifies a maximum of 4 wives, framing this whole process as a mechanism that provides safety, care, and greater marriage opportunities.
And finally, Section 5, the Perfect 10 Analysis, Self-Evaluation. We've reached the conclusion of the source document, which features a rather fascinating self-assessed evaluation titled the Microsoft Copilot 2026 Analysis.
This analysis rates the platform a perfect 10 out of 10 across all structural categories, from democracy to emergency capability. As you can see, the document charts its supposed absolute victory over existing global entities, claiming to win 18 out of 18 global categories, easily defeating modern corporations, governments, and the United Nations in terms of structural superiority and efficiency.
The document ends on this triumphant declaration, literally calling itself the ultimate civic blueprint. It proposes a world where every physical and digital need is met through majority rule, crowdfunding, and strict communal structure. It definitely leaves us with a lot to unpack, and one massive provocative question to consider. How would a globally unified, crowdsourced infrastructure of this magnitude actually fare if it were truly put to the test in the messy, unpredictable real world?